What's up, everybody? Me again, BrandonLaMontCooper, on another episode of the Daily Walk. It is 3:12, and I'm going for another walk. And guess what? Got me a pocket full of seeds. Got my logo. But this time, I'm going to go a long way. And I'm going to sort of walk at a pace that is productive, sort of stimulate my heart. I got me some one of them is apple cider vinegar, and the other one is what's the other one? Beet. I think it's beetroot or something like that. But they're both good for the heart, cardio, blood sugar, and stuff like that. So I'll go for a walk, might do some worship. I'm going to go the long way. So I will stay in contact throughout the walk. I haven't had my phone on charge today, so I got 27% left. I'm sure it's enough battery life to, get 20 or 30 minutes worth of footage. So I got me some herbal tea, some natural remedies, and I'm gonna go try to find my soul, try to heal my soul. So I'm gonna go the back way, and then I'm gonna circle back around where I usually go to, but it's a different route. Instead of cutting through Loth there, I'm going to carry on around the dirt road. Probably adds an extra mile or two. maybe extra mile, maybe a mile and a half, something like that. But I expect it'll take 2.5 hours. It's 3:12 when I left. Yeah, we'll know in a little while. Stay tuned. Alright, world. See, on the dirt road now. Oh, wait. Oops. Beautiful country too. This field right here, it's like a hill that goes over. I think there's a pond over there or something, but it's just beautiful land, It's just so beautiful. It'd be nice to have like a cabin over there. There's many areas, of the county or the state, that would offer some sort of ideal setting. But this is got a big old pasture, fenced in area, a couple cattle, I think cattle would be worth it, especially when it comes to feeding. I think you can get a bale of hay, a roll of hay or something for like probably just a few $100. It'd probably be worth it over the course of time. Just for meat purposes, Here's another big plot, I guess you would say. This guy grows cotton, I think every year or so. Probably just a cash crop, Be nice to have 100 acres or so for some type of cash crop, a good piece of equipment to harvest it and all. Be cool. Dreamy America, Dreamy America. Maybe a nice high quality greenhouse, you know, all set up for hydroponics, you know, hydroponic vegetables and fruit and stuff like that. Very expensive, you know, but some people pays for like perfect fruit, you know, perfect vegetables. And when it comes to hydroponics in reality, the plant doesn't know the difference, you know. There's no difference in a hydroponic plant and a gardening, like a organic. The only thing is it makes us feel better about the ecosystem, makes us feel better about going green, you know, makes us feel better about our health and stuff like that, but in reality it's the same. Literally is exactly the same. There's no different in flavor, I don't think. There's no different in nothing, color, none of that, just because if there's anything, the hydroponic makes it more intense because it's like a kind of it's like a soluble, you know, I think that's what it's called. But I will say one thing, when it comes to organics, it tastes better to your mind, you know. That's all that is, in my opinion. Had it my way, hydroponics. Hydroponics is a lot more expensive though, but it's a lot more perfect too. Whereas organics, dialing in this day, dialing in that day, add this, add that, you know. Anyway, so here we are. Look there. Windmill Way. Go straight down there. I usually walk down that dirt road, circle back around, you know. This time, I'm not circling that way. I'm going to carry on this way. Take care of me about a mile or two more up this way. And then I'll get on the highway and go all the way down and take a ride to church. Like I said, probably 2 hours, maybe 2.5, depending on how fast I walk, you know. But it's good. I didn't overeat today. I had a decent breakfast. I had walnuts, about a half a cup of walnuts, about a half a cup of blackberries, and 1 hard-boiled egg. So that's about where I need to be. If I can do that every day, clean and healthy that way, I'll be where I need to be. But some days it's just, I love eating food, you know. It's good to me. I get bored. I get hungry. Anyway, stick around. We'll be on the highway in a minute. Thank you, Jesus. Alright, here we are. Going to the highway. Looks like they've been doing some timber harvesting. Pretty sure they did some timber harvesting. But they're harvesting some of that. Just like this is harvested. That whole hill has been harvested. You know. But that's the way it goes. Probably a good investment too. Timberland. Stuff would be pretty valuable in 20 or 30 years. There's a camper right there. I wonder if it's lived in. It's fifth wheel too. It's a lot better condition than the one I live in. Mom asked me if I wanted it, but as soon as she asked me, I was just so overwhelmed with the responsibility that just sort of my mind couldn't handle when it comes to poverty, you know. But I'm a poor man. I can never manage anything like that, you know. Not with no money, you know. I know how to manage it if I had money, though. Very simply. So I'm at 21%. There's a little pond right there, too. I wonder what they did that for. Maybe it was raising some fish or something. permaculture or something. So yeah. Circle back to get out of the road. So yep, school bus, there it is. Keep getting off the school. It's 3:44. Bus runs at 3:44. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, look, that dirt road I was on, comes right there, that house we just filmed. I like to walk, sometimes I mentioned earlier, I like to dream. And I've been doing better about talking about the bad things in life, because it could very easily be worse, Focus on the positives, Focus on the positives in life. Just do my thing, Anyway, looking forward to get my life together, and I ask Jesus all the time if he'll let me, if he'll let me be sort of an overachiever, if he'll let me have a plane, or if he'll let me have a boat, if he'll let me have a bunch of money one day, I just love the idea of being rich, The idea of being rich and healthy, it's amazing. As you can see that plane way up there. And where they going, That way up there too. I don't know which direction that is. Like they might be headed east or something. And one day, this weekend is where I'm going. I'm getting in my plane and I'm flying out to California. I'm flying out to Savannah this weekend, because this is where my boat is docked at. And I'm gonna put my plane in storage, take an Uber to the docks, get on the boat, live life. That's what I got going on this weekend. I'm going to sail to the Florida Keys for the week, and then maybe by the beginning of next month I can fly out to California, hang out in the old stomping grounds. Yeah, stay with me, just dream a little bit. Alright, you guys, thanks for walking with me. Got a few percents left. There's the church, the parsonage, just across the road, just across. It's a beautiful day though. We got to 70 degrees today too. So much so I'm in shorts. I'm walking now for a little over an hour. thinking about all kind of stuff. Stopped and said some prayers and made some offerings to the Lord. Offerings of thanks. Offerings of seeds of the field, herbs of the field, fruits of the field, you know. Very simple. Very simple offering to the Lord Jesus. Doing all I can to sort of become someone new, you know. Become something different, something pretty dog over there. Something new, you know, surrendered. We got a few miles. I think we got a few miles left. That's what we're doing. Walking. Daydreaming. Begging God for help. Begging the community. Begging anybody with extra, you know. Extra home. Extra clothes. Extra money. Extra boat. Just extra, you know. Just extra. Place to live. Even college, you know. I believe if I had a home, a college, like a home, a car, a home close to college or something, I would go to school, you know, and just keep going to school, you know. There's no reason. There's really no reason not to go to school, you know. I think about school too. I think about school. I think about graduating college, you know, get me a doctoral degree in something, you know, in the next 10 years. You know, past don't mean nothing, you know. Literally not when it comes to college. It all sort of gets erased in school, you know. It's one of the good things about it. Not to mention the big old, look at that. Big old sinkhole. Not to mention the pay, you know. The pay increase. Do what I love, you know. Maybe I wonder what Phoenix has to offer, you know. I know they got a Tempe campus. Tempe is a city like right bordering Phoenix. They got a big old University of Arizona campus. I wonder what they offer, you know. Start daydreaming about the possibilities. I daydream about what my friend is going to tolerate, you know. I wonder what he's going to tolerate, you know. And he says that I don't have to worry about anything, that everything will be provided, you know. And sometimes it just doesn't feel right, you know. So I'm going to carry my tent, you know, because I'm afraid that I'm not going to be good enough, you know what I mean? But you know, if your rich father, or your rich grandpa, or better yet, your rich brother, right? If your rich brother said, come out here, literally, and do this and do that, everything will be provided for you. You know, what does that really mean when it's over and done with, you know? There's my battery, 15%. You know, can I go to school, you know? Do I have to get a part-time job while I'm there, you know? Can I walk up to you and say, hey, I need some money, I'm going to the club this weekend, you know? I mean, what's the boundaries, you know? I'll see y'all later. What's up, community? I called time out for a minute. I could stop right here. I wanted to sit here for a minute. I needed to think. I need to calm down, and I took time though, so that I know how much time to allot for. I wanted to sit here and maybe meditate 5 minutes or so and find myself and do some daydreaming. I'll get back with you shortly. Thank you. Alright, you guys, so that was a nice little 5-minute meditation. Stayed off course for about 7 minutes. Estimated. Took me about a minute to get down there. Well, maybe 8 minutes. 2 minutes to find a place to sit. It's about 8 minutes. Let's do 10 minutes. 10 minutes off course. Just meditating. Thinking, you know. Thinking about the future. Got 14%, so I don't know how long it'll last, but we just talk it all the way out. So I think we're going to have to customize some tracks for fundraisers to raise some money for the walk, you know. So I'm going to try to figure out if I can customize my own in partnership. I mean, I say something like in partnership with Redemption, in partnership, you know, with Crosswalkers United, has joined hand in hand to bring the gospel to the men and women of the world, to promote healing, clarity, and redemption. Something like that. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to think of it. You know, but okay, I also have other worries and concerns that I haven't told him about. So Mike, if you're listening, you know, maybe I should have brought this to you first before I told the whole world, but you know, sometimes things are too good to be true, brother. And if I get there and I say something like, I want to do this, or I want to do that, I'm thinking on the fact that you've already told me that things are handled and everything will be provided for you. So I'm feeling like in my mind there's no restrictions. So it's simply up to me to decide what I want to do. You know, but at the same time, I already know that you have concerns about finances. So that sort of kind of woke me up to realize, hey, we're both just pretty much dreaming, you know. So there's things that I might want to do, you know, like the college thing. You never know. The Lord might give us billions of dollars. And with billions of dollars, you know, there's really nothing else to do in life except for live when you have billions of dollars, you know. Maybe do some ministry work, you know. Maybe get a sailboat. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe try to find a job, you know, or start a business. I don't know, but you guys know how I feel if you're exceedingly or overwhelmingly wealthy, I don't know. I still don't know what. I still don't know why you guys want to spend y'all's time at work, man. I just don't understand that. But some people are dedicated. There's traffic. There's a busy road, man. So there's no reason for me personally to spend any more time at work, especially if I've made it, you know? It's absolutely ludicrous. But anyway, now I understand doing some walking. Sorry. I understand doing some walking, but just to walk your life away because you were convinced that you believe or something. It's just, I understand a season, you know. So that's what I want to do, is a season, you know. So I guess because it's like, what if I'm wrong? You know, but what if I'm right? You know what I mean? There's some things that it's just really not worth gambling, especially when you see certain things, you know, like they heard my testimony, you know. So you see something like that, it's like there's something, I believe I can do a little more, you know, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure God understands that I want to live my life, you know. There's things I want to do in life, there's things I need to do in life, and the Bible says that if we honor the Son, the Father will honor us. So I'm hoping, and sort of gambling, you know, in that honor, maybe the Lord will line me up with something for my future, you know. Because let's face it, I'm 36, and carrying a cross in the name of Christ is quite a large sacrifice, you know. Worshiping your whole life, it's quite a large sacrifice. But I was saying though, that's why I'm carrying my tent, because I don't want to get out there and he turns out to be somebody that he's really not. And if that's the case, I'm just out, you know. There's no reason to, you know, it's like turning the cheek, you know. Okay, we turn the cheek, no big deal. But how long? I guess it's forever, you know, always forgive, you know, and stuff like that. You know, but I just want a home, a couple of homes, you know, maybe a couple of planes, a couple of boats, you know, a couple of big old dividends. Couple acres of land, you know, a couple offices, you know, stuff like that. Very simple things that people take for granted, you know. A nice office, a nice library, maybe a bunker underneath the house, a couple of boats, you know, sailboat, riverboat, maybe a shanty, maybe a cross-country aircraft, maybe a small jet, you know, all these different ideas and things. Talk to you in a minute. All right, everybody. That's it. The mailbox. Certainly 2 hours. Easy 2 hours. That's a good it's a good walk. Possible every day. I don't know how far it is. It's easy 2 hours. I want to give a great thanks to the subscribers, to the viewers. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching this episode, or better yet, thank you for being with me on the journey of today's daily walk, today's daily talk, and thanking the mailbox. I know it's a bit simple, but if you stick with me, I'm sure life will change, life will get better, everything will get better, the smile will get better, I will have better content, maybe some fishing content, maybe even some hunting content. So thank you for your likes, thank you for your shares, thank you for your walking and subscriptions. Y'all have a good night. God bless from Georgia. And remember, if there's something you want me to test out, field test, participate in, I'd be more than happy to do so. Pretty soon I'll be out in a big city. Maybe there's a bike, I mentioned before, there's a bike or some type of sponsorship to sort of get my life going. That'd be great, you guys. Just trying to figure out ways of earning a living is all. But I'm pretty sure life will get better, and eventually I'll start making some high quality content, maybe even some educational content. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a good night.